Hello, everybody. Welcome and good morning. Today, we are doing another Eagle Chat, this time with advising, and we are excited to have you here. We are going to be chatting with somebody who knows HCC inside and out and advising inside and out. She is over the advisor, she's the advising manager for Online College. Welcome, Christy.
Thank you, Jana, for having me and for introducing me. I'm excited to be here.
Well, we're excited to have you here. People get confused about what is advising? What do I go to advising for? Don't I just come to y'all for everything? So, what does advising actually do?
Absolutely, and I agree. Usually with students, prospective students, or current students, they are referred to advising, or excuse me, they are sometimes confused and say, "Well, let's go visit advising." They know everything, and we do have a couple of initiatives that we work with students. We do assist our students, and that's what I'm here today for, to be able to present on what pathway advisors do here at HCC, across HCC, as well as within Online College.
Right. So, tell us, what do students come to you for? When do you first see a student? I mean, are you helping with enrollment? What are you doing? They need classes. So, how do you assist them?
Great question. Actually, we help students from the very beginning. Let's say, for example, they are a prospective student. They're probably, walking down the street and are near their local HEC campus. We will help them with information on, what programs we have, help them apply, help them matriculate all the way to registering for their first semester classes, midway during their undergraduate career, as well all the way to graduation. So we're pretty much, if you want to describe it, we sometimes tend to be a one-stop shop, although we do have other functions and other roles that assist with the different checking for stop points in a student's undergraduate career. We actually assist with all types of questions.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wonderful. Are you doing a presentation today or are we chatting?
Yes, I actually have a presentation that we're going to go over more specifically on what our pathway advisors do, as well as how they work with their assigned caseload. So, one thing about our pathway advisors is that they're also assigned a caseload, and a caseload could vary, be actually composed of different areas of study. So each advisor is over a different area of study. And that's usually, your program, your plan, what the student is majoring in at Houston Community College. So I will be presenting over some information on that, on when to see an advisor, the purpose of an academic advisor at HCC, and how we can assist students.
Oh, great. I can't wait to hear all about it.
Great. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And let me go ahead. While I'm doing that, I'm going to also excuse myself. I'm not sure what I'm going through. I think it's just the weather. My voice is a little bit off, but definitely if I need to repeat anything, let me know.
All right, I sure will.
Okay, so are you able to see my screen now?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. So, once again, welcome to HCC Online College Academic Advising. We're excited to be here with Eagle Chat. We're excited to talk to our Eagles, let them know what Pathway Advisors are here for, the purpose, and what we do to help you be successful at HCC and beyond. Okay, so a little bit of background of academic advising, specifically at HCC. So always remember that your pathway advisor, all students are assigned a pathway advisor as soon as they start HCC. You will be able to access your pathway advisor as a new student once your classes start. So let's say, for example, you register for a 16-week semester, you will be able to see and view who your assigned advisor is once classes start. in your student account, and I will be able to show you how to access that. However, just because you do not have an assigned advisor, let's say, for example, you are a new student in between semesters, maybe the session is starting in a month or two, you can still see any pathway advisor on campus or as well virtually online. So, don't worry if you happen to log into your student account and you see that you're not assigned an advisor yet. You can see any advisor at HCC. Another reason why you would probably not have an assigned advisor yet is, for example, you were a student and you had to stop out for work, or maybe you had an emergency, a personal reason that you had to stop out and you're returning. Welcome back. Those are usually some instances where you would see that you may not have an assigned advisor. No need to worry. As I mentioned, you can always visit any advisor across HCC. So what do we do here in Path? What do we do here when it comes to pathway advisors, and what are our pathway advisors responsible for in assisting you? So to summarize it, your pathway advisor helps you track academic progress. So let's say that you are pursuing a 2-year degree, an associate's degree, or a certificate, and you want to know how many classes you have left or how many classes are needed to graduate. When it comes to your credential, we help you track the academic progress towards your degree completion. So we are here to show you what classes you need, why you need these classes, what the classes are about, and then we also ensure that you're on the right track, taking the right courses. We also help you explore program and course options. Maybe you decided to start as a health and science major. Maybe you're thinking about doing something in the allied health sciences, maybe sonography or radiography. And then you decide, I've thought about it after visiting our career services and taking our career coach assessment. You thought, I really cannot, I'm not a person that wants to work with any type of fluids or any blood, makes me queasy. And you're looking at other majors that we have to offer, or you're looking at changing majors. We help you also explore program and course options. And we're here to help you when you are rethinking your major or thinking about, what does your current program offer and how it will help you after you graduate. We also help you declare and update your program plan. Many times when you apply as a new student, you go through the Apply Texas, you may choose your program, but you don't specifically choose your plan, which is your major and the degree plan of the courses that you would be taking here at HCC. We will help you declare that major, and then we'll also help you update it if you need to. We also help you review your advisement report. In your student account, it's going to be called the Academic Progress Report. We will help you review that, help you understand it, because you do have access, hands-on access to your own degree plan in your student account. And I'll show you in a couple of minutes. We also help you consider pathways. Once again, thinking about going back, usually, it's no surprise that as an undergraduate student, you may change your major maybe once or twice, or you may find a major that you just totally fall in love with and you are ready to pursue it. Here at HCC, as well as transfer to a university, we will help you discuss how that major can help you beyond a 4-year degree. Maybe you're looking at going to graduate school or law school or med school. We will help you consider all the pathways that are available when it comes to your specific major. We also discuss graduation with you. One of our main goals here at HCC is not only to help you apply and start at HCC, but our goal is to help you complete a credential at HCC. We want to see you complete, whether it's a certificate or a 2-year degree. That is our main goal, is to help you graduate. And then we also help you transfer. We do have information on transferring to, a 4-year university, how to do it, ensuring that the courses you take here transfer to a 4-year institution. In addition, we just wanted to let you know that academic advisors are also well knowledgeable in the college's programs, policies and resources. You may have questions on your degree requirements, on your department policies, in your major. We are very well versed. As mentioned earlier, our advisors are assigned to a different area of study, which is a different major at HCC, and they are well versed in their area of studies. Advisors are also well versed in the different wraparound resources across campus. Let's say you may need tutoring, maybe you're struggling in your math class. I wasn't a good math student, so I definitely was visiting tutoring when I was a student here at HCC. And so our advisors are well equipped to know what type of wraparound resources we have here, such as tutoring and counseling and other. There's so many resources across HCC that the advisors would be able to refer you to if you are in need of any type of service. We also have, you can actually access our advisors or your assigned advisor through various modes across HCC. You can schedule an appointment. We also have our virtual lobby drop-in. We also have our face-to-face walk-in hours at different campuses. And we'll go ahead and show you that in a couple of minutes. So I know this may be tiny on your screen, but this is just an example of how many areas of studies we have here at HCC. And so just to summarize it, we offer areas of studies in the arts and humanities, multidisciplinary, business and industry, STEM, your science, technology, engineering, mathematics majors, public service. And so these are our different areas of studies. And within these area studies, these are where you find your major. So for example, like in business, we have, 2-year degrees in accounting. We also have our 2-year degree, which transfers the Associates of Arts in Business. And so this is an example of all the wonderful majors that we have here at HCC. For degrees and certificates, so many times students are sometimes confused. They may have questions of what's the difference between a certificate or a 2-year degree, or what's the difference between a workforce credential or an academic credential. And so HCC offers 2 pathways for you to, if you are interested in. We have the workforce pathway, which is your pathway that provides you with a skill. Maybe you're looking at attaining a skill and training, and then right as soon as you graduate, you want to enter the workforce and get some experience before you embark on your next, degree. And so we offer the workforce route. So with the workforce, we provide a certificate option or a Associates of Applied Science degree. And so what that means is that the majority of your classes will be in a specific major, maybe in a specific industry. So for example, we can think of, when it comes back to the example of sonography, maybe you are interested in pursuing a degree in sonography. You would apply to one of our Coleman programs, which is one of our allied health programs. Once you are admitted, then you start pursuing your 2-year degree in sonography, where the majority of your courses would be in sonography. So you are being trained to learn a skill. And then as soon as you graduate, you would enter the workforce. The same thing with the credential. With a certificate credential. We have many certificates that we offer that prepare you for the workforce. An example would be like a welding certificate. That is not offered online, but I'm using that as an example where you would be able to pursue a certificate in less than a year. And then once you graduate, you are able to enter the workforce and start your career as a welder. And so with those 2, the certificate, as well as the Associates of Applied Science under the workforce pathway, those, I always like to advise students that you may want to check if your ultimate plan is to transfer to a university for a 4-year degree. Sometimes those degrees may not transfer, or most of the credits will not transfer. I would check with universities across. If you're interested within the Houston area or the Texas area, I would check with the university that you're interested in and see if they have a 4-year degree that works with our workforce degrees. Usually they do. Let me rewind that. There are some universities that do work with our students who have pursued those type of degrees, and sometimes up to 36 credits would transfer. However, you would have to check with the institution that you are interested in transferring. So I always advise that over students who are pursuing that type of pathway, for the simple fact is that you don't want to be discouraged. If you find out like, oh, well, most of these credits may not transfer. No, there are some universities that do accept them. You just have to do your research, and an advisor would be able to help you with that. Now, the next pathway would be the academic pathway. So the academic pathway, we offer the type of degrees. Usually it's the Associates of Arts and the Associates of Science. And then we have some specific academic degrees that prepare you for certain industries like teaching and engineering sciences. And so with these two associate degrees and the academic route, what you're pursuing here at HCC is your core curriculum along with any pre-major courses. So you would finish, you would take your 2 years here and then transfer and finish your last 2 years at the university of your choice. Usually that could be within the Houston area or within the Texas area. And so what you're doing is you're en route to pursue a 4-year degree where you actually take your 2 years here, you have one-on-one with your professors and smaller classroom settings, as well as an affordable, 2 years of your 4-year degree. So definitely, I would recommend if you're interested in any route of the workforce or the academic route, talk to your advisor, let them know what your plans are, what your educational goals are, and we would be able to help you with any of those questions that you have. So how do you access your academic advisor, or how do you find out who your pathway advisor is? I know you're excited to meet who they are. We get so many questions, and we always have students wondering who their pathway advisor is. And so we have 2 ways for you to see who you are assigned to, or who you should be contacting with when it comes to your pathway advisor. The first one would be is you can actually access and see who your assigned pathway advisor is through your student sign-in. So anytime, as you all know, if you are a current student at HCC, your HCC My Eagle is your one-stop shop for all students here. This is where you have your sign-in, your student email account, your catalog, your calendar, everything you need here at HCC when it comes to access to all your accounts. So you would actually click on your student sign-in right here. This is also the place where you go and register for classes, view your financial aid, and accept your financial aid or decline your financial aid. And then also, this is not to be confused with your online Canvas, which is where your courses are published and where you access your professors and your assignments. We sometimes have students who get those two confused, so I just wanted to pinpoint that. So once you sign in, make sure that you use your WID as well as your password. And then once you are in your student account, it should look like this. It may look a little bit different. Now, this is a screenshot from my student account. So of course, everything is empty because I finished a couple of years ago. And so once you log in, you're going to go to the academic progress tile. And once you click on the progress tile, you will see this is where you can actually access your degree, your academic degree report, which is your degree plan for your major here at HCC. This shows you how many classes you need, how far you have remaining, what transferred in, if you're a transfer student and you transferred a couple credits in. I definitely recommend is, although you see this information and you have hands-on access to this, you definitely still want to check with your assigned advisor to see, is this accurate? Are there any transfer credit courses that may have not, applied to certain degree requirements? That does happen. The wonderful thing about technology is that, yes, it makes our lives easy, but we still need, contrary to what we are hearing now, with AI and everything, we still need humans to be able to see like, oh, the academic degree report accidentally counted your government twice. It does happen. Sometimes we have technical glitches. So this is where it comes in handy that you need to speak to your advisor. I would say semesterly, and I'll just get to that in a couple of minutes from now. You want to check and make sure that all your classes are counting where they need to be counting and nothing is double dipping, meaning counting twice. So definitely recommend visiting your advisor to do that during one of your appointments. So you'll see the academic progress summary here. You have another screen for academic progress. It's pretty much similar to the one up there. And then right here, oh, sorry, have slippery fingers here. Right here, under the advisors tab is where you would see your academic advisor, who you are assigned to. So as soon as you click advisors, once the semester has started and you have matriculated and classes have started, you should see your assigned advisor there. It will have their contact name, their contact information such as email, location, as well as office number. And you definitely want to make sure that you start reaching out to your advisors. So during peak registration, which is right before the semester starts in August and January for fall and spring semesters, we're super busy across HCC, of course, because we're trying to make sure that all of our students get their courses, register, are happy about their schedules, and we're assisting everyone. So during the months of August and January, you're able to see any advisor across HCC. It does not necessarily have to be your assigned advisor, but once peak registration is over and August and January are over, you would have to schedule an appointment with your assigned advisor. And so this is where you would locate your advisor and their contact information and how to register for how to schedule an appointment, excuse me. And I'll also show you another way through the actual HCC website as well. We also have a feature here called advising notes. It's one of our features that we are still testing. However, there are some advisors who are already using it. So let's say, for example, you have a visit with your advisor and they typed up some good information like what to do, your next steps as a student, you're getting ready to graduate, from point A to point Z, what you should be doing in your last semester. They're able to type that up. It's basically like a visit summary note, kind of like when you go to a doctor and they enter that in their apps that they use. Same thing here. It's a new feature that we're testing. Some campuses are using it, some are not. So don't be surprised if you do not see that. But if you do see it, that's extra for you as a student in order for you to know what you're doing and what you need to know for you to graduate on time. And then, of course, the expected graduation term, pretty straightforward. When you expect to be done and walking across the stage in your cap and gown, which is very exciting around here. This is the second method on how to schedule an appointment with your assigned advisor or how to identify who your assigned advisor is. You can actually go through the HCC website. If you actually go to hccs.edu and you can click on support services and then academic advising, or you can actually just take a screenshot and you'll have the actual link up here. So you are able to find your advisor. You would scroll down and click on book your next advising appointment. And then by typing in your WID and clicking search, you'll be able to identify who your assigned advisor is and then also schedule an appointment through this website as well. If you're a first time in college student, let's say this is your first semester, then you click on here, the first time at HCC link, and it will take you to our virtual lobby. This is also where our online advisors are with HCC Online College. They actually have drop-in hours throughout the day, and you can find them there from 9 to 4 all day. If you are assigned to an online advisor with the online college, you would also find us here under the first time at HCC link, as well as scheduling an appointment with your assigned advisor. I also want to highlight the HCC calendar. It's very important as a student for you to be aware of all the deadlines, course Also, the activities that we have with Student Life, those are also fun. But we also stress out in academic advising of understanding how deadlines, academic deadlines work for students. Like, for example, the last day to drop without a grade, the last day to drop and receive a W, the refund dates, all of that is important for students. And you would click on the calendar right here. And so you're able to click on the calendar, filter it to through the semesters and see all those important deadlines for you as a student. Many times we receive questions on when is the last day to drop. Sometimes we receive an email, it's like, hey, when is the last day to drop? And we do receive lots of emails throughout the day. We try to respond within 24 to 48 hours, but there have been times where, you may have missed it by, a pinch of a hair, and we don't want that to happen. And that's why we always stress to students, get to know the academic calendar, get to know the deadlines, plot them into your planner. I definitely recommend to have a planner of your student. Jot them in there because you never know when you may need them. Another thing, the course catalog. Get to know your degree plan, get to know what the requirements are, what the academic policies are. And for example, how many W's can you have in the state of Texas? If you started after fall 2007, you are only allowed 6 withdrawals in your whole undergraduate career. And that means you start here at HCC, and when you transfer, for example, let's say you're going to Texas A&M, those 6 W's follow you throughout your whole undergraduate career. So be careful when you're using those W's. Sometimes it may be like, well, I didn't like Professor X, I always advise students, when I was an advisor, I would say, it's neat that even when I was an undergraduate, we had Rate My Professor and those cool websites. But those are really not official websites. It's really more of anecdotal research where students are saying, hey, take this professor because they're cool. But you never know. Also, not all professors are on there, and you may have to take a semester or a class with a professor that you are not aware of or do not know. I compare that to when you graduate and you start your career. You don't get to know who your supervisor is, or there's no website called Rate My Supervisor. And so I definitely recommend, take an opportunity on professors. You never know. Some of the best professors that I had at HCC weren't on Rate My Professor. It actually was, I registered for the class and I gave the professor, went in class, took notes, listened, asked questions, and they ended up being the best professors I ever had at HCC. So definitely, that's what I always recommend students is know the calendar, the deadlines. If you need to withdraw, use those W's wisely, and just do your research, and make sure that you read the syllabus before, once the semester starts. That way you are able to understand the requirements so you can be successful and you don't have to use those 6 W's, so quickly. You actually want to save those for emergencies as well. And here's another screenshot of how the calendar looks. So if you look, for example, this is from summer 2019. So for example, you have like July 5th was when the second 5 weeks in the summer, that was the last day for 100% refund. So just information like that. Okay, so let me go ahead and stop sharing this screen, but I also want to show you some information on when to see an academic advisor and why you should see an academic advisor. So let me go ahead and pull up our website. We have all of this information. We actually have our advising syllabus, which is an unofficial contract between the student and the academic advisor. So, learning objectives, from the student, what you expect to learn in your advising sessions or appointments, as well as what the expectations are for you from your assigned advisor. So let me pull that information up. I'm going to share my screen one more time. Oh, sorry. You see my, oopsie, you're seeing my crazy desktop. Here it goes. Okay, So once again, you can actually access the advising website on HCC. I mean, I could show you from the very beginning. If you actually go to the HCC homepage and you click under support services, under academic support, click on advising. And then once again, this is gives you information about personalized advising, what we're here for. This is where you can search for your assigned advisor. And then we have more information on here about advising and, frequently asked questions and, when to meet with an advisor or counselor. And we also have our advising syllabus. So as mentioned, the advising syllabus, it's kind of I want to say like an unofficial contract or what I would say like a guide sheet of what the purpose is for pathway advising here at HCC. And so some of these are the student learning outcomes. You'll become familiar with your deadlines, everything that we just discussed earlier, utilize technology, how to access all of your accounts, and how to track your degree plan. Here's some responsibilities. We definitely love when our students come prepared to our advising appointments. I definitely recommend schedule an advising appointment with your assigned advisor at least once a semester. When I was an undergraduate student, I always saw my advisor once a semester, as well as, I was an advisor for many, many years. And so I was under the mindset of you come and see us once a semester. You just never know. Now, do you need to see us once a semester? No, not necessarily. But if you really want to make sure that you're on track and that everything's checking out and all your courses transferred, if you're a transfer student, come and see us once a semester. I definitely recommend after August, fall registration, usually September, October are slow times. And I use those in quotes because with online college, we're super busy all the time. But schedule an appointment during that time frame. Spring semester, schedule an appointment after January, maybe February and March, and come and see us, come, arrive on time. What we're currently seeing right now, especially with our assigned advisors here within online college, is that yes, we are getting students to schedule their appointments, but they're not showing up. And that right there is a disservice as well, because not only did you not show up and you may have missed important information when it comes to your degree requirements and what you're needing to know, but you also took up a space from another student who may have been wanting to register or schedule an appointment with their assigned advisor. And so arrive, on time, or arrive and show up to your appointment. Also, let your advisor know if you're not able to make it, let them know, hey, I'm not able to make it tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Can you go ahead and just cancel? So maybe it could open up, the space for another student, as well as our advisors also have, not only are they seeing students, but they're also working on the back end to ensure that, they're working on different reports when it comes to you all, to their caseload. So you definitely just want to be mindful of that to show up to your appointments when you schedule them. Take notes. Yes, advisors are here to advise you on the degree requirements, the policies that apply to you. But we also need you to take notes because at the end of the day, this is your degree. These are your courses. It's going to affect you if you did not take notes. And let's say, for example, you try to remember what Christy said, like, oh, did Christy advise me to take that basket weaving class? And then you sign up for the wrong class when I, in fact, didn't advise you to take that class. And also, we don't offer that class here. So you just want to make sure that you take notes so that way you are receiving that information and later on analyzing it and applying it to your degree plan. Advisors' responsibilities. We're here to assist and communicate your degree requirements. We're here to teach you how to navigate your academic progress report. We're here to help you with any questions you have, and also to make sure that we are keeping everything in track for your degree, your completion of your credentials here at HCC. So friendly reminders, pretty straightforward. When sending an email, make sure that you include your student name as well as your student ID. I don't know how many times my advisors receive an email called question. And then I strongly recommend for you all to use your student email address, your HCC student email. Although it's not mandated right now. We are receiving a lot of fraudulent emails from different emails like Gmail and Outlook, and I think another one's iCloud. And most of the time, we want to make sure that it's, we're not opening anything that may contain a virus, or, we don't want to expose any our systems here at HCC or even your systems. So please send it through your student email account, as well as, the subject, maybe say, this is Christy Cervantes. If you just include your name, nowadays, we do have names that are common. So, we search you in the system, we may pull like, 5 Christy Cervanteses, and we don't know which one you are. So include your name, your student ID, and your specific question of what you are looking to, the information you're looking to inquire. Register for classes early. Do not be one of those students that wait and then they are wondering why, hey, my Math 1314 college algebra class is closed. Well, it would be closed if you just, woke up 2 weeks before the fall semester starts. So register for them early. That academic calendar is going to tell you when registration opens and when priority registration is for each semester. So once again, I'm going to throw it in there. It's very important to know the academic calendar. So what type of appointments do we all, have with our students? Well, we do have different checkpoints with our students. We have our 0 to 15. So this is usually our first semester, our freshmen, first time in college students. This is basically, we can do that individual or group depending. And we are just really showing you, welcoming you to HCC and showing you what you need to know in order for you to be successful here at HCC. And then we have our 16 through 30. This is individual advising. This is just saying, okay, you're midway. How are you doing? Do you have any questions? Just checking in and just showing you where you are at and how far you have to go. And then, of course, the 31 to 45, it's another check-in, just saying, hey, want to make sure that you're still doing good. Then the 45 plus hours is usually when we start talking about graduation. We start seeing like, okay, you're getting close to your 2-year degree, your 60 credits. It's time to think about graduation. What are your plans after graduation? What are you planning to do? Transferring or planning to, hit the industry that you majored in? And then, of course, summer sessions is usually just your usual check-ins. These are the different college advising centers that we have. We are virtually, so you can access us, like I said, through the virtual contact center that we have, as well as through Teams when you're scheduling an appointment with your assigned advisor. And then, of course, we have additional student services. We all work together here. We work with enrollment services. We do not enroll students many times. Back to the Janice question in the very beginning, what do we do? Many times we get confused that we register students, like we could place you in classes. We do not have access to enroll you in courses. We advise you on what courses to take, and then you are able to register for your courses through your student account. If you do have trouble, maybe like something's happening, you just want to make sure, that's when we work with enrollment services and they will help you. But we have all types of other different wraparound services on here. And that is pretty much the gist of what we do during your advising appointment with your assigned advisor. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. And just a couple of other points that I know I had talked to with Jana about. What is it that our student community wants to know, especially our online community? How do you change advisors? So we have had instances where maybe, a student may feel like, oh, the communication style is very different. My advisor communication style is very different from how I communicate. We are able to make exceptions to that. You would have to request your advisor to have a change of advisor. But I want to forewarn you that usually you are assigned an advisor based on your major here at HCC, so based on your area of study. And we are always, monitoring these caseloads, making sure that our caseloads do not don't get so big. Of course, we're right now we're working through these caseloads. And we do have some advisors that have large caseloads. So I just want to let you know that even if you request to be switched advisors, ultimately you may end up being switched back over to your advisor depending on the area of study. Because if an advisor is advising over real estate, and let's just happen to be that you fell in love with this particular advisor when you went to drop in and you submitted a change of advisor form, you may be changed temporarily, but because that advisor is probably not over the major you're majoring in, you may be reassigned back to an advisor that is assigned to your major. How often does that happen? Like I said, we're always monitoring the caseloads semesterly, if not academically, like each year. And so I would definitely recommend for you just to keep that in mind when you're wanting to change an advisor. I would also say, this is where going back to the student responsibilities, ask questions, get to know your advisor. We're all people. We all been through your shoes. We all been there before. We've all been students. Some of us are still students right now. And so get to know your advisor, come prepared. And this is where you can have a successful advising session between you and your advisor. When another reason why you would change an advisor is if you change majors. Once again, like I said, going back to advisors being over a specific area of study. If you change majors, then more than likely your advisor will change as well. And that's pretty much it. I think I hit everything else, all the other questions. Any other questions for me that I haven't covered?
No, I don't think so. And nobody's left any in the chat. This was a lot of information. Thank you so much. I learned a lot. I hope the students have learned a lot that have checked in today. And I just find that what y'all do is absolutely amazing. And thank you for helping all of our students succeed and make it to graduation and beyond. So thank you for coming and speaking with us today. It has been wonderful learning all about your area and how to get students to you and what all you can do for them. Thank you once again. My name is Jana Weiss. This is Christy Cervantes. She's the online college advising manager, and we want to thank y'all for coming in today, and we hope to see you at the next event. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.